So, you have a call at no expense to you from
Omar,
an inmate at Nevada Southern Detention Center. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
hey Rudy.
Hey Omar, man, it's good to hear your voice. I hope there's some good news since the last time we talked.
Well, you know, I'm still in the same position. I'm still waiting on. I got one out of the 4 petitions still pending in the Supreme Court on that habeas corpus. You know how the legislation's expired and unconstitutional. And I just calling to say hi, really. But I also wanted to let the public know that they should still sign and keep sharing that petition online, you know, on the change.org website.
Okay.
You know, I think we should still try to keep pushing on it, you know, until we get more signatures. And you know, I think me and Ryan Bundy's goal at the beginning was, I believe, at least 1,000, or I can't remember off the top of my head. But you know, we're at like 530, I think, right now. And you know, just the more people watching to the corruption, the more the better. You know, I think we should all be on board with this. And you know, when the public demands an answer from the court's going to have to answer. You know.
Yep.
But until then, they're just going to keep shutting us down. They're going to shut everyone down because they're like, there's not enough eyes watching. Mr. Qazi is just under the rug right now, so we're just going to stomp on him like it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, I just brought it up. You got 533 signatures, so that's pretty dang good, man. I mean, I deal with a lot of other political prisoners, and they don't have nearly that many, so you only need 467 to get the 1,000, but that's pretty dang good.
Yeah, you know, and well, like I said, you know, I just hope it kind of blows up, and you know, we get some more public support. You know, to whatever sources we can, and
amen.
You know, I think it's important. I just seen that. So, you know, we got Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court now. So, you know, and I'm pretty sure that. I mean, it sounds like he would be. Well, we can really test out to see if he's a real constitutionalist. You know, by him just simply answering what needs to be answered. You know, under due process, just the morals and the fundamentals of our system. You know.
Are you familiar with Chris Ann Hall? Have you ever heard about her name?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, she's not too impressed with his voting record. Hopefully things will change and maybe somebody will, you know, talk some sense into him. But looking at his past, I heard Chris Ann Hall talk about him, and it just hasn't been a very good voting record for this Kavanaugh dude. But having said that, you know, anything can change.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm hoping for the best. You know, we gotta still pray and hope that these rulers don't become more oppressive than they already are. You know,
Amen.
we need some people that are actually going to at least listen. See, here's the thing that bothers me is if I was wrong, then just have someone please explain to me how I'm wrong. It's impossible to do because I'm not wrong. You know, some lawyer or some judge would have said, "Hey, you're wrong, but because of this or that." You know, and that's all I want to hear. To explain to me, just to give me a reason to deny me. Tell me why I'm wrong. You know, explain with your legal or any type of reasoning you have to show and explain why I'm wrong. You know, and that's what's really bothering is if we have a system where you can bring up all these legally correct arguments and still be shot down, then what's the point? You know, just bringing up arguments for nothing. You know.
Yeah.
So that just means there's technically no system at all. There's none. It's not even. It shouldn't be called a justice system. It should be called a no system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just no system.
Yeah, no, hey, just to share with you, in our church this past Sunday, my pastor gave me 10 minutes to get up and speak about our prison ministry, and I railed, man. I used some pretty harsh language, but I called it a satanic criminal justice system in America, and I thought that might have been a little bit edgy for a church crowd, but when I said that, there was like 3 amens coming back at me, so I was like, yeah, because it is satanic,
It is, well, and I don't know if you guys heard lately, I'm just kind of getting news back right now that, a week ago there was a major riot in one of these units, right? And, I didn't know that Todd was actually in that unit. And I basically found out that, thank God nothing happened to him, of course, because they moved him to another unit. But remember, there's about 96 inmates per dorm, right? And there was about 48 that went to the hole. That's about more than half. That's how many people were rioting in that dorm, that little dorm, Todd was there. Thank God he's not hurt. He's good. So, but yeah, that happened about a week ago. And that's just so people could understand the trials that we're going through every day. It's not just, this guy got a year, he got 10 years. We're going through hell by the minute. You know what I mean?
No, I do. I completely understand. For those of us with eyes to see and ears to hear, and we have empathy, right? We know the system is wrong. And when we go to sleep at night, I don't take anything for granted anymore, Omar. Like a breakfast with my wife, I walk around the park, driving my car to anywhere I want to go, right? And when I think about you and like dozens of other men and women that I know that are innocent, that have been railroaded by a satanic system, it really bothers me, man. I won't lie to you. It ain't nothing like what you got to go through. You're the one who's stuck in the hellhole, but it's like it should bother people all over this freaking country that we got a satanic criminal justice system that is incarcerating people for money, but and then we got a group of devils that think it's okay. They actually promote the system.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't know how bad it was until I got here. I wish I did know before, because I would definitely been out there making, hell of a lot of noise, but, and it's sad, like I said, when people, once they step in these shoes and then really see for their own eyes, it's too late,
Yeah.
The time now, I don't care whoever you want to learn it from in the past, whether it's Martin Luther King or other people. The time it's never to wait. The time is now,
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? People need to stop saying, be patient, this or no. Be patient means just never. Just wait forever, because it's never going to happen unless you take the affirmative action to do something now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because people are suffering now. They're not suffering to be patient and wait. No, the suffering is happening now. We got people hanging from trees right now.
Yeah.
And the people are just letting it happen. And it's just hard to imagine how this is really going on.
Yeah.
With not, when the majority of the people really don't care, or they're just putting a blind eye to it. So I don't know, but like I said, I'm happy to hear that nothing happened to Todd, and it was probably it was a dumb fight. I'd heard it was over the TV, and Pisces and Blacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably killing each other over. You changed it to the wrong station at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like really, like grow up.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's crazy. But I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, and I'm waiting for, hopefully hear something good coming this coming week and try to get something moving. So I'll let you guys know, but just kind of letting you guys know what's kind of going on, and hoping we can still get some more action online. Some people rallying up together, and saying we need to be more united and stop this chaos, you know?
Well, you know, I asked another prisoner who had been in prison 15 years earlier today. I said, why do you think God is allowing you to be in prison? And he was speaking out against corruption. He had a talk show radio host. You know, he's had a powerful, outspoken, bold life, right? And he said, well, the devil hates me. You know, the devil doesn't like me, and the devil's trying to silence me. And I said, well, I understand that. I don't disagree with that at all. But our God is more powerful than the devil. So why is our God allowing you to be in prison? And I got to ask you, I mean, I don't think I'm anything special, Omar. I mean, therefore, but by the grace of God go I. I know they could put me in prison, and I wonder, you know, why do some brothers and sisters get thrown in prison and God allow it? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not trying to have it affect my faith or anything, but it's like I don't understand why this has to be the case. And I don't know if it's because he's putting, you know, some people through a test, and maybe, you know, people in the outside are being tested in the public as to whether they care, you know, but it's terrible. It really is a bad situation. Also, this whole Christian, you know, you got the right and the left, and usually the Black Lives Matter folks are like speaking up against police brutality and mass incarceration. But I don't care if it's Black Lives Matter or not, man. People have called me a Black Lives Matter sympathizer. They got valid points. I mean, we have a prison industrial complex, and we have police brutality. And it's not just a black thing. I wouldn't just say it's Black Lives Matter. I would say it's a problem with mass incarceration and police brutality, no matter what your color is. But anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter race, religion. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're being oppressed by, this is humanity. This is a violation of human rights. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. I think we all should be united as brothers, like in faith. You know, believe in God. If you believe in God, you know, we should all, because basically we're going against the devil at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, the devil is laughing at us for everyone either being a hypocrite, a coward, or just, you know what I'm saying? He's just laughing because he's the one who, you know, makes people do the evil things they do, and, you know, at the end of the day, he's just laughing at us, you know, and he's deceiving people when people think, you know, some people that worship the devil or do bad things, and, you know, at the end of the day, the devil's laughing at him too. You know, he's just setting it up for failure. So, you know, but I guess, like I said, people need to wake up and realize that, you know, realize that the day of judgment will be coming. You know, Jesus will be coming back. You know, we will have to answer before God.
I believe that too,
these things are coming, you know.
I believe that too. And when it comes to Black Lives Matter, you know, they're message points, right? We got too many black people in prison. We got too many black people being killed by cops. And it's like, I agree with that. It's like, but why can't they just say we got too many, instead of putting the word black there, why can't we say we got too many people in prison? We got too many people being killed by cops. You know, it's just, I don't know why they got to make it a black thing, because it's not just a black thing. I agree they got some valid points, and you know, but it's like we're failing to recognize that we've got a police state and we've got a prison industrial complex that puts people in prison for money, and our criminal justice system has gone satanic. But it is a fight of good versus evil, and I believe everybody will be held accountable to God, just like you said.
Yeah, you know, like Satan's even deceiving these judges and prosecutors, you know?
Yeah.
They think that they have it all what they want right now. You know, they can have all these pleasures of this world, you know? This is just, the people who love this world will be the one that will suffer in hell for the eternity.
Yeah.
You know, this is so, you know, at the end of the day, as worse as this is, I guess, you know, it is a test. It's a hard test, I'll admit, you know, because we love the world. We want to be home. Of course, we want to be with our families, but, you know, it's still God's will. So if this happens, at the end of the day, it's for a greater cause. So sometimes I have to accept it as hard as a pill that is to swallow. You know, it's it is what it is, and you know, and I hate saying it, but you know, it is. You know, like I said, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But well, you know,
I agree with
all I can do is keep praying and pushing forward.
Yeah.
You know, trying to awaken the minds of all of us.
Right.
You know, together. So
right, and you know the Bible. That's where I that's where I look to for guidance in this situation, because it's overpowering at times to think about what everybody's going through, including yourself. But it says that you will have tribulation in the world. It says if they hated Jesus, they're going to hate you. It also says James 4:4, I think it is, that friendship of the world is enmity with God. So that if you love the world, you're basically becoming an enemy of God. And you know, I just think this world is so corrupted, and that those judges and those prosecutors, I mean, they have whored out their soul for filthy lucre. And when they send you to prison for, like, you know, however, you know this ungodly amount of time, and what they're shooting for, and what they did to Todd Engel, man, that they're going to be held accountable to God for that. And it's just not right. And something's wrong with their soul. Something's wrong with their discernment. And they have, you know, they live in the fancy houses, they drive the fancy cars, and they think they're doing something good for society, and they're being rewarded for it. But when they oppress their fellow man, I mean, the wrath of God is not going to be a pretty thing. I don't want to be around. I think I'll step out the room when the wrath of God comes down on these people.
Yeah, you know, it's just demonic. You know, well, you know, the funny thing is, even Satan has deceived angels. He deceived angels in paradise.
Yeah.
You know, that they became fallen angels. So you know, what's funny is you know, people are letting Satan deceive themselves. You know.
Yeah.
He deceived angels. They became demons. You know, and
right.
That's what it is. So, like I said, they'll learn the hard way. So, you know, as hard as we think this life is, it's really a snap. It's a blink of an eye. It's a long dream, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, the reason I'm saying that is because I've actually been through a factual experience, not an assumption, you know? Remember when I told you I had passed away and came back? That actually happened. I witnessed with my own eyes, you know, that I can testify that actually happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I had the chance to leave. I could have left this plane, you know, and I said no. And at that moment I didn't know why. Maybe I know now why, you know. But maybe my suffering hopefully can open some minds and to get from the stubbornness and to get united to say, hey, this is wrong. We need to help each other and not think about your own view, you know?
Yeah.
But like I said, until they walk these shoes, until they see with their own eyes, you know, people are going to just be blind and just follow like cattle, you know, or just go and just drink beer and watch football when they're going to be the next victim. You know, hope God willing that doesn't happen, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The time, like I said, the time is now, and if people need to just stop lollygagging and hoping that it's going to get better without putting any action. You know, action speaks louder than words. So at the end of the day, my words are nothing, you know, without action. So
yeah, our pastor often says knowledge without action is a colossal waste of time. And I'm reminded of Jesus, right, when he was asked what's the greatest commandments. He said to seek the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, understanding, and strength. And he said the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. And on these two hang all the law of the prophets. And so it's to love your neighbor as yourself and to seek God. But yet, if you talk to most religious people in America, they're more worried about whether you should worship on a Saturday or a Sunday, or whether you should eat shrimp, or, you know, whether you should, which Bible, you know, it's just the most craziest thing in the world. I happen to believe, I have some very passionate religious beliefs myself, but it does tell us that the greatest commandments is to love God and love our neighbor. And if people aren't following those two commandments, there's serious problems, man.
Yeah, you know, they shouldn't call themselves Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever if you're not caring about the next person, you know, no matter who they are, or for what, you know, it's not about that, you know. It's the problem with people are they're more based on their cultures. They're growing up on just culture values rather than religious values. Yeah, and not, you know, and putting God second. Yeah, is really what's going on.
Well, so, yeah, amen. There is a parable of the Good Samaritan. I don't know if you recall that one, but it you know, when the guy was helping out the guy in need, he didn't give him a theology test, right? He didn't ask him if he was a Jew or a Muslim or a Christian. He just saw somebody that was in need and he helped him. And so that's the parable of the Good Samaritan it's what I try to apply in this prison ministry. But we're praying that God works a miracle for you, Omar, and that God has a plan for your life. And I know it's got to be absolute hell, man. I know that it does, you know, being separated from your family. And you have kids too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son's 9.
My goodness. I can't imagine, you know, being locked away from him. And we got other prisoners that have children too. And I couldn't imagine.
Remaining.
We're going to keep you in our prayers, Omar.
Thank you, Rudy. You guys, you know, have a good one. And like I said, just keep promoting this and trying to get everybody together and, you know.
Yep.
So, but I'll keep you guys updated, and you know, thank God everything is. I'm healthy. I'm living. I'm talking. So. Amen.
All glory to God, and faithful unto death. You know.
All right. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. God bless you, Omar. Bye bye.
Bye bye.